my lovelies. This is a general reading for the collective of all signs for the full moon in Gemini. So what I'm going to do is start with some oracle. This is time stamped, and then I'm going to jump into just a brief overview of the full moon in Gemini, and then I'll do a tarot spread in honor of the full moon. Again, it's good for all signs because the full moon is occurring for all of us. I do break it down by individual zodiac sign in the extended. So if you want to go into how it impacts you individually, that's the place to go. All right, here we go. This is for the full moon in Gemini, and I am pulling from Moonology Oracle. Let's see what we get. Emotions are running high. Yes, they are. You're very close to achieving your goal, and a win-win outcome is forecast. I love this. So we have supermoon. I don't think this full moon is a supermoon. It's the last full moon of the calendar year. Emotions are running high. Yeah, we have 2 retrogrades going at the same time. This full moon will occur, I'm just going to round it, at around 4 a.m. Eastern time. And the Mercury retrograde stations direct at roughly 4 p.m. Eastern time on the same day. So I'm kind of glad we had the full moon happening first, because it's like we get to purge all of the insane emotions that have been running like at a fever pitch for weeks now. So this is true. And I pulled it from the bottom. So that's, what's been brewing underneath. Yeah. We're very close to achieving something here. I love that energy as well. Things that that may be during retrograde. Mars is also retrograde in Leo, Mercury in Sagittarius. So when we're in a retrograde, what happens is it's where we go into the below. That's the only way I can describe it, because we're sort of energetically forced down and in, and we're pulled along like dredged, right, through something that we normally don't pay attention to. That's just the best way I can describe it, into things that we either don't want to look at or deal with, or that we don't pay attention to, that's just living in our psyche or in unconscious awareness, and then all of a sudden we're sort of forced into it. So that's why emotions run high, when we're kind of forced into dealing with those energies. And so I love that as the emotions are running high and we're being given the opportunity to kind of release it with a full moon, and then Mercury is right now not moving at all, but just very slowly, like an oldie-timey watch or something, turning around. When you could hear those gears kind of grind as it turns around really slowly, and then by 4 p.m. is direct. Yay. Right? Then we're kind of, it's like that, oh, okay. And then all of a sudden, there are a lot of things that can very quickly come to fruition. Because we've been working through it in the below. Got it? And then what happens? Beautiful. A win-win outcome is forecast. That is full moon and Libra energy coming through here. But what I love about it is I've seen it in a lot of readings. A lot of the readings on YouTube, I've seen that sort of 6 of Wands be a part of the future, which is about where do we have that meeting in the middle, where we can sort of have our jumping off point of what we do agree upon. And that is where we can kind of sort of set ourselves up for success. If we begin where we agree, and that's our launching point, saves us all a lot of aggravation. Okay, so I really kind of like how the Oracle sets us up to move out of some really stuck communication energy, perception energy, into that, really close to this goal, and then boom, having a win-win outcome. And of course I read for relationships, so just saying. Okay, so before I jump in to tarot, let me talk to you a little bit about our moon here. And I do collect, I kind of curate from my favorite, astrological sources and astrologers. I am one, but it's just easier for me to go to my go-to sources and kind of compile it and then, reframe it into my own speak and give it to you. So it'll peak tomorrow on December 15th at about 4:02 a.m. Eastern Time. It's the last full moon of the year. I know. Of the calendar year. And it's an energy that invites us to embrace duality, of course, Gemini, the twins, and curiosity, very much a Gemini construct, and communication, invented by Gemini. So it's occurring in the mutable sign, mutable meaning changeable, flexible, air sign of Gemini. It's going to bring like a whirlwind of thoughts and ideas and emotions. A perfect opportunity for all of us to reflect on the stories we've written this year and set the stage for fresh narratives in 2025. Almost like a cleaning, erasing the chalkboard is sort of how I'm picking up on it. What stories have we written that aren't really true? Erase those. What stories have we written that are true for us? Put them at the front of the chalkboard, like, the table of contents almost. And what we're going to continue, what chapters we're going to start filling in. Like, that's my visual of this full moon. We're erasing some things and letting it go. And then we're setting ourselves up for the fresh narratives of 2025. I love that. I used to be a teacher, so I love that. So it's occurring, the full moon is occurring at nearly 24 degrees, not quite, but 23 degrees, 54 minutes of the sign of Gemini. So if you just look for 24 degrees of Gemini, it's illuminating the Gemini sector of your natal chart. You're going to want to find that. And as a culmination of themes initiated around the Gemini new moon that occurred in June. So consider and reflect on the past 6 months from June until now and assess your progress or lack thereof, especially in the areas of communication, learning, especially if you've been open to shifting your perspectives, your mental agility, your ability to kind of multitask mentally. Hold two thoughts in your head at the same time, even if they're opposing. We may all experience a surge of insights, revelations, and with Mercury finally stationing direct on the same day, as I said, just, 4 p.m. that same day, we can, and that's Eastern time, we can expect increased mental clarity. Hello, yes. And much needed forward momentum, making this period ideal for finalizing any important decisions, launching any new projects, any conversations you've stuck a pin in and put on hold, which would have been wise. You can now kind of chart your path to putting that back on the front burner. This full moon is an invitation to rewrite your own personal narrative, as I said. And while doing so, you may uncover some limiting beliefs, outdated patterns that no longer serve you. And by releasing any old stories, you can create space for new, more empowering ones. That's the point. Okay, so it's not a shaming ritual. It's like what story have I told myself? And maybe it just wasn't for 2024. Maybe it's been a long time and you're just kind of facing it now saying, yeah, this is the year that I stopped that. And here's the new narrative that I push forward in 2025 because I'm ready. I'm ready to let a lot of ish go. So we're getting ready to close the book on 2024, thank goodness. And you want to take advantage of the unique opportunity to wrap up some loose ends. and set intentions for the new year. We don't set intentions during the full moon necessarily, but this is one where if you're kind of, we have another new moon. Most of us, not on the West Coast, but a lot of us do, because we have another new moon at the end of December. So we'll have another intention setting ritual right before the new year. So use this as an opportunity to kind of clear the old stories and narratives, create your table of contents, and that has some intentionality to it, correct? So that's sort of what I mean. And you want to set those intentions for the new year to embrace a new start. And Gemini will show us that growth comes not just from certainty, right? Like where we're dug in, but rather from curiosity and connection. And another source said, as the final full moon of 2024, this Gemini lunation invites us to reflect on our narratives and communication styles. So that was a little piece that I thought was helpful, as well as to where we might actually be prepared to make our stand, right? Remembering to find time for enjoyment and play, very Gemini. It challenges us to be vigilant in forming our perspective. So vigilant means not, it's like we have to really give our attention to it. We have to say, no, I need to carve out time to really be clear on my perspectives in important matters. And, whoops. My bad. I'll get to that in a second. And so it's not just that, but it's about our sense of curiosity and our inner truth, what's true for us. So as we are embracing our inner and ongoing metamorphosis, I love that word for Gemini, right? The butterfly. Let us move forward with clarity and intention. And as we wind down for the end of the year, may we be graced with the peacefulness, strength, clarity, and wisdom to continue navigating the uncertainties and challenges of our time. Okay? So there's a lot of uncertainty in the world. We got that. There's a lot of uncertainty in our connections. We got that. Everything's sort of feeling a little loosey-goosey and maybe unhinged. And so that's why the curiosity is important, letting go of needing certainty, but yet being vigilant about what is my perspective on this, so that we know where we stand. And that's really going to be important. And create your table of contents for 2025 and start clearing out and erasing the chalkboard of the storylines that don't belong to you anymore. Okay? So that is sort of an esoteric, how Gemini of me, an esoteric full moon in Gemini interpretation. Yeah, and talk about my monkey mind. My phone is nowhere near me and I didn't turn it off. So shame on me, because that's usually a very important aspect of what I do. I have been under the weather, so, and it's been like, I checked my calendar, it's been a solid week. And I have been white knuckling all my readings lately, both here and private readings. Leo, get down. Yep, I'm sorry. Nope, get down. Literally pushing every last nerve. Like, why, when you're not feeling well, it's a cat thing. Does a cat decide, today I'm going to make her wish she was dead? Because that's really where we are. So yeah, I do not feel well. That's why I did this the way I did it. I kind of wanted to keep it short and sweet. So what I'm going to do is jump in now with a reading, and oh my God, he did it. He made it all the way up beyond the chandelier to the top of the curtain rod, and he's yeah, I had to check on him. Sorry for that. Okay, so let's jump into our tarot spread for our lovely full moon in Gemini. Page of Swords. I love that. That's Gemini too. Well, it's Gemini, Libra, Aquarian energy. The pages are all the signs, but it's a card of curiosity. I love that. What's the challenge here? Knight of Wands. Okay, so the Knight of Wands can be a little bit in and out. Is somebody returning, right? Your curiosity, either about a passionate return or maybe about someone's staying power. Is this someone who has that capacity? Root of the problem, High Priestess, maybe difficulty with your intuition on this. You know, sometimes our intuition, we feel it plays tricks on us, or we're also sometimes we feel there are things we don't know. The High Priestess can be secrecy. We'll get the clarifiers. In the past, Four of Swords, an element of healing or deep reflection, especially, this is my Mercury retrograde card, all the reevaluate, reassess, reflect, renew, recharge, revisit, all those words that give us that time to sort of reflect and take the time we need to be sure we know what we're dealing with while we're in a healing mode. Top of mind here, King of Wands. Wow. And the King of Wands is that energy of, right, the Knight of Wands can be a little flitty, can kind of come in hot and then fizzle out, and the King of Wands not so much. The King of Wands knows what they want and doesn't hesitate. Very much of a claiming energy. I want this connection. I want you. No hesitation. And in the near future, Six of Cups. Beautiful energy of the past life soulmate. And we have the King of Swords, message from Spirit. Two of Wands. What do we want here? Five of Cups is interesting because this would be what we're going to have to release from the past, the mistakes of the past, the regrets of the past, especially because in the hidden energy, the Two of Wands is saying, okay, what's next on the path? What are you choosing for yourself? And in order to get what you want, you've got to release what you've already had. And Spirit's mention here of the King of Swords feels to me like it is a matter of strategy. Are you dealing with an energy that's more strategic or more withholding? High vibration strategic, lower vibration withholding. And that's what I'm going with for now. The clarifiers, I'm clarifying this as a group, could change. So let's see the Page of Swords and the Knight of Wands. Eight of Pentacles, Temperance, Justice. So what I'm sort of seeing here is what can we work on? Is this workable? Is it workable? This is your curiosity talking, right? Because I'm seeing the Temperance card as that sort of, I'm willing to go with the flow here. There's patience in Temperance. There's the higher octave of Sagittarian energy, which is opposite the full moon right now. The sun's in Sagittarius. I'm willing to, have that sense of wisdom that tells me that this could over time work itself out. But right now and I love that we have Libra in there, because that is going to your full moon and Libra mention of the win-win outcome is forecast. But right now, we don't have the balance. We might be missing some sense of harmony and balance and fairness. So with that focus on that Eight of Pentacles, forging, like that a creative solution to a problem is what I like to say about the Eight of Pentacles. But you're curious, is that available? Right? Because maybe you're willing to wait it out a bit and go with the flow a bit. But it's coming in as a question, right? Page of Swords, asking a question. Is this available for us? Can we work this out? And the High Priestess is the root of the problem, is maybe you're not sure. Maybe your intuition is saying, Two of Wands, Hanged Man, Six of Pentacles. I feel like your intuition is telling you to consider the path forward. And so the Hanged Man coming in as a perspective card. You're buying a little time here. The Hanged Man is like a pause. There's no impulse issue here. This is a time to just kind of pull yourself up and out and take that 30,000 foot view. Try to look at it from all angles as you tap into your claircognizance. There's someone I said that for, right? This is an important time to really trust your inner knowing and know, like you know, that you have to really consider the path forward. It's very important. The Two of Wands is asking you what you want in a world of possibilities. What do you want? And once you figure that out, what path is most likely to get you there? And what do you need? What's on you? What do you need to set in motion to ensure that, in the year ahead that it arrives? And underneath is the Six of Pentacles. And the Six of Pentacles is about reciprocity, give and take. What I'm going to bring to this relationship, if what you want is that it comes back to you, what is your intuition telling you about the likelihood of that? And if your curiosity is here with a Knight of Wands, I got to be honest. That's why you're kind of like, is this really workable? Because in this particular reading only, I'm not attributing this to the Knight of Wands in all situations. It's got many interpretations, but it's seeming like that's the concern. Knight of Wands has a notorious reputation of getting all that exuberant, passionate energy up and acting in the moment on the impulse, and then full bore ahead, arriving at your door, uninvited, unannounced. I'm here, grabbing you, all that lust and passion, and then no staying power. Poof. Gone. So that's the issue. It doesn't have that give and take, reciprocity, generosity. I'm invested, you're invested, we're going to make this thing work. Eight of Pentacles. So I'm feeling like at the root of the problem is, what is your intuition telling you about this path, and how can you sort of use that time that you're being given right now to work with the perspective around that topic. Four of Swords. Page of Wands. Judgment. Magician. I feel like this has been probably something that's been a pattern, the in and out thing, because healing from Page of Wands energy in the past, it's like, in it for the minute, sort of self-serving. Page of Wands, Knight of Wands, and we've got the progression, because Page of Wands in the past, Knight of Wands showing up presently, top of mind for you is the King. So we're talking about passion, that's for sure. There's chemistry here. And there's a progression in the courts, in the court card realm, evolution. And I feel there's been lots of forgiveness, and you've manifested reconciliation and reunion 100 times if you've done it once. And it's required a lot of reflection on your part and a lot of healing on your part. And let me repeat those last words, on your part. Has it come back at you? Has it come back to you? Has it been reciprocated? Has the growth you've seen and accomplished, right, come back? Have you seen it reflected? It's a fair question. Because that's part of your decision-making process in the Two of Wands going forward. And reflecting on the past, right? The disappointments, the regrets, the mistakes. So that you don't repeat them going forward. King of Wands. Top of mind here. Yes. See, this is what you want. Someone who knows what they want. Ho. But look what we get. There's this energy of, hold on, it's about intentions. Whatever form it's showing up in, are you going to be able to trust the intentions? Because I'm seeing some shutdown energy here, pulling into yourself, making yourself small, constricting, contracting, more guarded, and divine feminine energy landing on that king. It's almost like even if this person returns and says, I claim you, would I trust it? We're still talking about this whole reading in the form of a question, because we opened with the Page of Swords. Curiosity. Would I trust it? In the near future, Six of Cups. Chariot, Death card, High Priestess. So, for the benefit of those of you who are newer, and for the benefit of those of you who have followed me, for the benefit of everybody. Like I said, I haven't been feeling well, so I'm a little, daffy today. First of all, these are general readings. They're not private readings, so they may not resonate for everyone. This storyline may not speak to many of you. It's okay. And even if it does speak to some of you, all of it may not speak to those of you that some of it speaks to. Does that make sense? My rule of thumb is, in this kind of a reading, if 75% of it resonates, it's good. But you have to take what speaks to you and just kind of leave the parts that don't, so that you can take away the messages that are important for you and not focus in on all the little nitty-gritty details that don't. That's going to save you getting triggered. But what I'm seeing here is a curiosity that is sort of preempting an upcoming decision-making process. Two of Wands. The twos are always about decisions. And some of you, it's going to be a decision about moving on from someone, not taking it forward with you in 2025. And what your intuition is telling you. Is this something that can be changed and transformed? Can we grow? or is it DOA? Okay? And it can be one or the other. So that's possible because it's a general reading for the collective of all the signs. And it's not a personal or private reading. So I just want to say that. But I do feel like what I'm looking at here is this is somebody you've known for a long time or across lifetimes, and in the near future, whether you're moving forward together, changed and transformed, or whether you're moving forward and leaving them behind because it's no longer serving you and it has run its course and it's time to end it. Coming back to the High Priestess, that will be something that comes from within you, and you are going to have to trust your inner knowing about it. Based on everything that is happening at this moment during this lunation, the purge of everything that's kind of been driving you a little buggy emotionally through this retrograde from the past 6 months, right? Since it began with the new moon in Gemini back in June, and look at the whole sum total of the past 6 months at the least, with regard to this connection, and connect all those dots. That's your work, okay? Don't leave everything to any one tarot reading. Gosh, please don't. Okay, so I'm saying that for a reason, because it looks like this message is a serious looking backwards towards the past and all the sum total of it, and making a decision to possibly move on. And people don't like when I do those kind of readings, but I'm here to deliver messages. So let's see what we get here with our King of Swords, Two of Wands, Five of Cups, Knight of Wands. Strategy of the Knight of Wands, Emperor, Star. So remember I said the higher vibration of the King of Swords can be the ultimate strategist who wants to do the right thing. Honorable, honest, truthful, full of integrity. The lower vibration, cool, aloof, distant, not so warm and fuzzy, kind of sort of not real chatty, and strategic in an underhanded way, in a self-serving way. And the fact that the Knight of Wands comes out in accordance with that feels a little bit in there with the opening sequence. Two of Wands, then we have the Emperor. That's the choice we're making here. We now have Empress and Emperor showing up, divine masculine and feminine, and of course with the Five of Cups and the Star, healing the wounds of the past, the despair of the past, the grief, the loss, the sadness, the mistakes, the regrets, because you're not going that way. Okay, so then when I put it all together, it's obvious that there's an in and out quality here that isn't serving, and so it has to be healed regardless of whether you stay or you go. Okay, so please hear me when I say that the decision is yours to make, of course, and your path forward will have to involve some healing of a pattern that has brought you a lot of grief. And that is probably the best place to start when it comes to your curiosity. Boom. All right, so this is the storyline that the extended will be based on. So if it does resonate for you, that's where I'm going to go around the zodiac Aries through Pisces and look at what you might want to consider releasing. It's good. They're mini spreads and they'll give you a focal point. Okay. And so before I give you the astrology that showed up in the cards today, if you enjoyed the reading and the information that I gave, and you haven't yet done so, please do subscribe below. That is our energetic exchange and the way you can sort of show your gratitude for the work I show up here every day, almost every day, to do on your behalf. Would be greatly appreciative. All right, here we go. We have got the Page of Swords, as I said, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. How appropriate, can't even make it up. Knight of Wands is out twice. That is Sagittarius, which is where the sun is. So this is definitely a full moon with sun in Sagittarius reading. We have the Temperance is Sagittarius and Justice is Libra. We've got the High Priestess is out twice. Yep. And the High Priestess is the moon. And the moon rules the sign of Cancer. We've got the Hanged Man is Neptune. Neptune rules Pisces. We have the Page of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We have Judgment. Judgment is Pluto, which rules Scorpio. The Magician is Mercury, which rules Virgo. King of Wands is Leo. Empress is Venus, which rules Taurus and Libra. And Chariot is Cancerian energy. The Death card is Scorpio. King of Swords, is Aquarius. Emperor is Aries, and the Star is Aquarius. Okay, so that's what I have for this full moon in Gemini. Full moon blessings to all. The link to the extended is below. If you have any of the monthly renewing memberships, you already have access to this. You do have to go to moments.com to access your account, just like a Netflix, to get to it and scroll to the full moon collection to see it. But otherwise, if you want it, the link to it is below. I'm headed there. I'll see you in a second. Bye for now.